Arsenal were comfortable 2-0 winners over Rafa Benitez's Newcastle United side, who posed the Gunners no real danger throughout a game in which the Arsenal attackers had control right from the opening knockings of the game. Goals from Ramsey and Alexandre Lacazette gave Unai Emery a crucial victory that hoists the Gunners up to third spot, with Spurs having slipped up against Liverpool on the weekend. Here are the Arsenal player ratings. Bernd Leno 7. Other than a decent save in the first half, was barely a part of the game. Shkodran Mustafi 7. His usual inconsistent self, was cool on the ball at times though. Socrates 7. Anchored the line well and is the Gunners' most dependable centre-half. Nacho Monreal 7. The Spaniard protected his side well and wasn't shabby on the ball either. Ainsley Maitland-Niles 6. He wasn't really able to impact the game as the Magpies defended deep. Ramsey 8. Easily their best player on the night. His goal calmed the nerves. Matteo Guendouzi 7. Solid performance from the youngster who can't put a foot wrong at the moment. Sead Kolasinac 6. Newcastle's deep defense line rendered him ineffective in an attacking sense. Mesut Ozil 7. The German wizard had a good day and showed real purpose at times. Alexandre Lacazette 7. He held up the ball decently and scored the goal that secured the points. Alex Iwobi 6. Yet another shabby performance from the youngster who was substituted. Substitutes Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang 7. Looked bright after coming on and notched up an assist as well. Mohamed El-Neni 6. Brought in to secure their slender lead and did a decent job. Read more Arsenal news? Click here. Arsenal news. Henrik Mkhitaryan 6. Came on too late to have any real impact but showed positive glimpses. Here's how some excited Arsenal fans reacted to this victory. Spurs were 10 points ahead and now we're above them, sitting in third. Tears to my eyes, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Reeks at ReactZR. April 1st, 2019. Third place oncoming fist, light skin tone. Thank you Arsenal, I love you heart. Loyal Goonerette at Tazraman 7. April 1st, 2019. Clean sheet on April Fool's Day. Nice. Lacazette at That Guy SR. April 1st, 2019. Sit down Tottenham. Litchi Australia 100 points. Adaba. Laka 8. April 1st, 2019. Until the second goal, I was sweating bullets but comfortable win against Newcastle. Well-dominated game and amazing created chances, but finishing needs to happen. Other than that, Ozil had a godlike performance. Really wish he played more earlier in the season. Of TGEM at some point, it keeps them angry, determined and importantly, hungry. We will need a full team of determined players for the league. With injuries hitting the squad hard, the Gunners lost their way before regaining their mojo since the last month or so. They have won 4 out of their last 5 games in the league and lie 4th in the table, just a point below their North London rivals, Tottenham. Things have changed for good of late for Emery, whose aim will be to play in the Champions League next by either getting a top 4 finish or by winning the Europa League. But if he wants to challenge for the Premier League title, Arsenal have to sign some players in the summer transfer window. That said, here are the 2 players Arsenal should sign this summer. 1. Nicolas Nkoulou, Torino. Arsenal were probably short of real defensive quality going into this season, and now with Shkodran Mustafi underperforming and Laurent Koscielny coming to the end of his career at the Emirates, the dearth has grown even more. The North London Giants need quality as well as depth to their defensive ranks, and Emery should reignite his interest in signing Torino defender, Nicolas Nkoulou. Nkoulou, 29, was heavily linked with a move to Arsenal in the January transfer window, but a deal didn't materialize. The Cameroonian has been a rock at the back for Torino this season, putting in some really impressive displays. A leader at the back, the 29-year-old is exactly what the Gunners need ahead of next season. Nkoulou's physicality, composure on the ball and game-reading ability should make him a top fit under Emery at the Emirates. 2. Joan Jordan, Eber. With Aaron Ramsey set to leave Arsenal on a free transfer to Juventus at the end of the season, Emery has to start considering options for the Welshman's replacement. Eber's Joan Jordan has been linked with a summer switch to the Gunners as Ramsey comes to end of his decade-long career at the Emirates. Jordan has featured 27 times in the La Liga this season, scoring 3 goals and assisting 4 times. The Spaniard would add immense quality to the Arsenal squad, whilst being a like-for-like Ramsey replacement. Beneficially, the 24-year-old midfielder would perhaps come for relatively cheap, with his release clause set at just £12.8 million, as Eber are willing to cash in on their star performer in order to avoid losing him on a pre-contract in January 2020. Read more Arsenal news. Click here. Arsenal news: Emery cannot afford to let this chance slip out of his hands and should trigger Jordan's release clause. According to the Daily Mail, Arsenal are keen to offload Henrik Mkhitaryan in the summer, with manager Unai Emery reportedly making an effort to reduce the squad's wage bill. The 30-year-old Armenian international earns close to £200,000 a week, a figure similar to striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, while Mesut Ozil is on a staggering £350,000 a week deal. Those sky-high wages are apparently proving to be a big burden on the club's finances. Emery was told by the hierarchy that Arsenal were solely in the market for loan signings in the January transfer window, and the Daily Mail reports that the Spaniard will have a tight transfer budget of £45 million to work with in the summer. Despite the club's financial constraints, Emery is looking for a major squad overhaul in the summer, and one way to raise funds would be to offload a few big names. Having slipped down the pecking order since Emery's arrival, Mesut Ozil is expected to head for the exit door at the end of the season, and now Mkhitaryan's future is also up in the air. Unlike Ozil, Mkhitaryan, though, has featured regularly for Arsenal in the Premier League under Unai Emery. The 30-year-old has accumulated 6 goals and 4 assists from 18 appearances in the Premier League this term. As evident from those figures, he has played a big role in the first team and has had a pretty decent run in the ongoing campaign. Mkhitaryan has proved to be a good signing for the Gunners since his switch from Man United last January. He hasn't done anything extraordinary, but few would argue that he has managed to light up the scene occasionally with his creativity. With Aaron Ramsey and Danny Welbeck out of contract at the end of the season and Mesut Ozil likely to depart, Arsenal are expected to dip into the transfer window for potential replacements. And the uncertainty over Mkhitaryan's future is a clear indication of the fact that Emery is keen to complete a major squad overhaul. Well, cashing in on Mkhitaryan won't be the worst idea for Arsenal, as the Gunners can make use of those funds elsewhere. They need to reshape their squad with the addition of 2 or 3 young players in attacking midfield, whilst the acquisition of a left-back as central midfielder also remain a priority. The decision to get Mkhitaryan off the books might have something to do with tactical reasons as well. The Armenian is an elegant playmaker who has the ability to change the game in a matter of minutes, but he has, in fact, struggled to cope with Emery's high-pressing style. The former Dortmund man has looked decent when Arsenal have dominated possession, but has failed to make an impact in games where his team have been starved of the ball. He excels with his vision and eye for a killer pass, but Emery needs a more tenacious and hard-working attacking midfielder to comply with his high press. Moreover, Mkhitaryan doesn't do a lot defensively, making him a misfit for Emery's system that requires the wingers to track back and help out the full-backs. To read more Arsenal news, click here. Latest Arsenal news: having enjoyed a promising first season under Emery, Arsenal would be hoping to secure a Champions League spot with a strong end to their campaign. Returning to the Champions League would boost their funds significantly in the summer and make Emery's job a lot easier. Arsenal definitely need to freshen up their squad with some young talents to build a strong platform for the future, and getting a big earner like Mkhitaryan off the books should be the way forward for the Gunners. According to a report from Football London, Fulham star Jean-Michel Seri wants to leave the club in the summer, with the midfielder unwilling to play in the Championship. Fulham raised a lot of eyebrows when they signed Jean-Michel Seri from OGC Nice for a fee in excess of £20 million, as the West London club spent over £100 million to reshape their squad following promotion. Before signing for Fulham, the Ivorian was linked with a host of European clubs, including Manchester United, Barcelona and Manchester City. However, since joining the Cottagers, Sarri has struggled to make an impact in the Premier League, producing a goal and just 3 assists. One could argue that the 27-year-old's poor performances has been down to Fulham's miserable season, with the club sacking 2 managers in midst of this campaign. All in all, there's no denying Sarri's quality and ability to ply his trade for a top European club. Even though his move to Fulham didn't work, there's every chance it could click somewhere else in the Premier League itself. That being said, here are 2 ideal Premier League destinations for the Ivory Coast international to consider this summer. 1. Tottenham. Tottenham were also interested in Sarri last year before the Ivorian signed for Fulham. Now with the midfielder willing to leave Fulham at the end of the season, Tottenham should snap him up in a seemingly cut-price deal. Mauricio Pochettino has to spend big in summer to catch up with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. And addressing the midfield should be a priority, with a replacement for Moussa Dembele desperately needed at the club. Sarri may not be as strong and physical like Dembele, but his ability to pick a pass, energy and work rate coincide with the Belgian's qualities. The former OGC nice man won't be a solution to Spurs' all problems, but he'll give Pochettino's side some much-needed bite and creativity from central midfield. 2. Arsenal. Arsenal's midfield would need some working in the summer after Aaron Ramsey's departure on a free transfer to Juventus. Furthermore, Mohamed El Neni is also linked with a move away from the Emirates, and his exit could potentially leave Unai Emery with Granit Xhaka, Matteo Guendouzi and Lucas Torreira as only options in central midfield. Neither will Sarri be a replacement for Ramsey nor El Neni. In fact, he is an all-action, athletic midfielder that can contribute to the attack just as much as he can to the defense. He is excellent in retaining possession and uses his passing range to ping balls all across the pitch. The likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Alexandre Lacazette and Henrikh Mkhitaryan utilize their pace to deadly effect, and with Sarri slipping those incisive through balls from deep, the Gunners could thrive more in the final third. To read more Fulham news, click here. Latest Fulham news. Arsenal were also linked with a move for Sarri last summer and should try signing the midfielder when the transfer window reopens.